All right, all right, all right. Happy New Year, everybody. It is the 2026 edition of the Midnight Blue and Gold Launchpad. The same as 2025, but it's going to be even better. We're going to earn that award that we keep saying, the award-winning podcast. Anyway, before I ramble on any further, I am Rocket Ryan Brandt.
I am PJ Spiller, a.k.a. Pat Chillick.
Sounding smooth over there, Pat. I am Dan Rocketman Savage.
And I'm Kyle W.
That's Kyle W. Smith, engineer, producer extraordinaire, the guy on the ones and the twos, as we like to say, or at least Pat likes to say.
That's right. I got my Don Cornelius voice on today.
Soul Train.
So, yeah, we're going to dive right into it, baby.
Yeah, you do sound very Cornelia-ishian. Is that a word? Is that?
Yeah, Cornelius-ian.
So anyway,
Cornelia-esque.
Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, I don't know what I was trying to do there, but it's a half of this Miller Lite, light beer from Miller, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. So anyway, guys, I don't think we've talked since the Boca Raton Bowl, but what a great time. I'm not going to go too far into the weeds, but it was great seeing Rob Rice, Brian Blair, Josh Dittman, the new associate athletic director, Connor Whalen. He's a whalen of a nice guy. And they invited us to have dinner with the new head coach, Mike Jacobs, at a nice little Mexican restaurant down there in Boca Raton right after the pep rally. Got to meet Andrew Hawkins, ESPN, former Toledo Rocket, along with Cleveland Brown and Cincinnati Bengal. It's the first time I'd seen him since he was 10 years old. Long story short, I was a sports anchor in Johnstown, PA. His brother got drafted by the Bengals, Artrell, second round back in 1996. So we went to the house, and little kid was running around. Who knew he'd play for the Rockets and play in the NFL? It was kind of cool.
I bet he was excited to finally meet Rocket Ryan.
You know what? I said Ryan Brandt, Fox 8. It jogged his memory, barely.
Did Andrew have another brother that also played for UT?
No,
just Artrell.
But he should have. Artrell played at Cincinnati.
That's right.
He was a Bearcat. So anyway, talking about the new coaches, I mean, we want to welcome these new listeners that we are going to hopefully have with Mike Jacobs, mommy guy, coming in from Mercer and taking over the reins for the departed Jason Candle, who went on to Connecticut, and we wish him well, ish. And so, along with this coaching staff, we got Chris Reisert coming in as offensive coordinator, Jamal Brown, defensive coordinator, Corey Allen, associate head coach, along with tight ends coach, Sean Chaffee, linebackers coach, Brian Folkerts, former NFL veteran. He's going to be coaching that O-line. Cornerbacks coach is going to be Aaron Foster, Fred Jones at running backs coach. Jimmy Long is going to be coaching up that D-line. Matt Ulrich will be special teams coordinator. And Evan Barr, I don't know if you've seen some of his videos yet on social media, but
yes,
that guy doesn't want to get you fired up to lift weights and pump iron at 6 a.m. Nobody will. So what do you think, guys?
Ready to run through a wall for the guy. Yeah, I think it's a great coaching staff that they've assembled. I was really surprised by the amount of head coaching experience throughout all the coaches.
Right.
I believe Reisert was a head coach at Tiffin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, wasn't one of them a former head coach of Findlay?
Yeah, so I believe it's the OC is the Findlay, very recent Findlay head coach.
Yeah.
And then the Tiffin guy was then Gardner Webb. So.
Oh, okay.
So that's was just a sitting FCS head coach, which is pretty cool. I think it's really interesting how the national media has portrayed the hire. I think people have graded it, pretty well. But they keep saying that, Coach MJ is an Ohio guy. It's like, he's from Maumee. Just say he's a Toledo guy. I mean, really, he's as close as you could be and not be in Toledo. Just by saying he's an Ohio guy kind of doesn't do him justice. I mean, this is a lot of Northwest Ohio talent that knows the area super well.
Yeah, he could be from Gallipolis with being an Ohio guy.
Right, yeah. I just anticipate the next couple high school recruiting classes are going to be really fun. With the local talent that hopefully chooses Toledo over any other school around here.
Yeah, that's what I'm more interested in is I didn't have a lot of high hopes with the portal with, just this coaching window and the calendar. It doesn't give these smaller schools a fighting chance really to have a regime change like we did. But A ton of Mercer players that seem to be proven. We had a few Power 4 players transfer in, which is cool to see. But that's what I'm more interested in is what are we doing on the recruiting trail after this season here?
Well, one thing I know for sure is the smaller schools like D2 schools, Findlay and Tiffin and so on, Ohio Northern, etc. A lot of those teams or those coaches bring in players that are marginally good in high school. Like one of my coworkers' nephews went to Scott, was a receiver, and never really got any attention. But he went down to Tiffin about 10 or 12 years ago, played 4 years as a receiver, set all kinds of records.
He's still playing there with COVID eligibility.
Yeah,
12 years later.
Right. He's a 19th year senior.
Right.
He's a doctor now, though.
Right.
Yeah, but that's right. He's got his due. But he went on to have NFL tryouts and made a couple practice squads. So, I think these smaller coaches have a good eye for talent that needs to be developed. And I think that's one of the things that Candle was very, infamous for around here, was finding under the radar talent and developing it. Hopefully Jacobs takes that same approach.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it'll be interesting to see player retention. Did Candle figure something out to keep these players here in Toledo that other schools haven't figured out? And is Jacobs able to also tap into that magic a bit? But I think there's a lot of questions after this season. I'm just focused on enjoying what we're going to see in the fall coming up.
Well, the guy I'm most excited about, Andrew Zock, who won the Buck Buchanan Award last year as the FCS Defensive Player of the Year, one of just 4 consecutive All-Americans in Mercer history. He obliterated the single-season school records for tackles for loss. He had 20 last year, along with 11.5 sacks, 23 quarterback hurries, and 24 solo tackles, 46 total, 4 pass breakups, and a partridge in a pear tree. I feel like Jim Heller.
I saw someone on X say the Toledo Zockets.
Yes, I love
that. That's good.
Nice.
It'll be a nice T-shirt now that Neil, you might be able to make some money off of that.
Right. Yeah, dude, that guy chose us over like Virginia and Buffalo,
Colorado, wasn't it?
Colorado.
Yeah.
And their fans were like, "What the hell? Didn't see Toledo coming." It's like, well, I don't know if anyone's really been paying attention. MJ loaded up a Greyhound bus and sent us a bunch of those Mercer guys, so it shouldn't have been that far out of left field. Right. The dude's a hell of a player. I can't wait to watch him play this year.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he's gotten quite a few other players, outside of Mercer to come in from smaller schools as well. I think there's some Gardner Webb guys that have come in on the portal. All of their former schools, I think, on the coaching staff have at least 1 or 2 players coming.
Yeah, no, there's a ton of Southern blood. You get an Auburn guy, a UAB guy, Georgia State guy. I mean, a couple of those dudes are from Ocala, Florida. Northbound there, Rocket Ryan. But
yes,
we'll dive into that specifically. It's really tough for us as the portal's just closing, roundabouts now, and it's hard to even find who the hell we got on our team online. This staff is busy right now, and I'm sure once winter workouts get started, we'll have a little bit better of an idea. So,
well, the thing that we have a strong idea on is our quarterback, which was great news.
Yeah, Jar Binks, baby, he's back. I can't wait.
John Allen Richter returns from the abyss.
Richter,
my bad.
Yeah, we need to. I mean, he definitely made a point of that.
So did his dad when he was on the bus with his uncle.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how you would have, recruited an O-line or any pieces without having a quarterback announce that he was going to be here. So we got one. Now we just got to fill in the depth behind him.
And he seems like a really good guy too. Obviously you want your quarterback to be a good player, but man, it helps when you really like the guy too. And don't get me wrong, I mean, Tucker Gleason was a good guy too. I mean, we just have nothing but good guys. If you come to Toledo, all your assholes go to Bowling Green. That's the way I look at it.
So what you're saying is you're gonna write the staff a strongly worded email and be in charge of recruiting Florida for them.
Yes. Not gonna hurt.
Guys, one name I was expecting to see hit the portal and didn't, from what I've seen, is Noah Sanders.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's a nice retention.
I think he wants to be a local guy.
Right. But I mean, the name alone would probably draw some
Right.
interest.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to go out to Connecticut. And he's only been in the program a year, so I don't know how loyal, he really was to Coach Candle and company. He retained his eligibility. He didn't play it all this year, so he's got 4 years left. He might as well stick around with the new staff and try to make a name for himself. It's pretty cool when they're doing the ESPN Plus broadcast that Barry's up there somewhere in a suite watching his son play. So,
right. Absolutely. So with John Allen Richter coming back, I mean, it surprised me, guys. I don't know what you think, but he was basically off the radar after he got hurt, after he got that concussion.
I saw some rumors he might come back as like a GA but not play. And then kind of later last week, was it? It was announced that he was returning as our quarterback, which huge news because we still have 2 quarterbacks on the roster, both green around the ears. Not much playing time, but solid high school stats overall for both of them. So I mean, if we had to roll with one of the younger guys, we'd figure it out. But having that more experienced quarterback coming in for next season is a huge plus.
Yeah, that's a definite plus.
And Walter Moses is one of them, right? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Pat.
No, go ahead.
Walter Moses, one of them, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Back? Yeah, so it was kind of neat. We were down at the pep rally, and I'm talking to Zim, Uncle Zim, to one person here on the podcast. And all of a sudden, guy comes over, hey, you aren't you the guy on the Midnight Blue Gold Launchpad? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, we listen to it all the time. So I got to meet him, Sean Moses, the dad, and the mom, Amy. I hope I didn't get that messed up because it could be the other way around nowadays. But anyway, but yeah, it is Sean and Amy. I'm just kidding around. For you guys listening out there, Mr.
Amy
and Mrs. Moses.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. That's really cool to hear.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. So
we
got to give a shout out to anybody who loves us.
Yeah, and keep following us on all the socials. We got 488. I think we retained, half the family of the old staff and players that haven't deleted us off of socials yet. So if you're new around here, you got to get that number up, get us over 500. There'll be a lot of content coming in the off season for football. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to get the guys from Canada to get some of their friends on board.
Oh yeah, we got a ton of off season, ideas in the works here, but we're still got basketball season. And right now we gotta finish out 2025. Rocket Ryan, you were down at the bowl game. I was at Whiskey Red. We had maybe 15 listeners of the show there.
Awesome.
It was a great time. We had beans and wieners. I mean, it could not have been a better day. It really could not have been a more fun watch for a team that was supposed to be completely outmanned against a team that beat a current national at least semifinalist or champion.
Right.
What was your guys' thoughts on the whole game?
Well, first of all, being down here it was just when they got off the bus at Benny's on the Beach. Benny's on the Beach is in Lake Worth, Florida. Lake Worth Beach now. They added the beach on because they wanted to be like everybody else and be a beach. But anyway, as soon as they got off the bus, I came out and I'm like, welcome to Palm Beach County. It was like they came down just for me, and I thanked every one of them. Thank you for coming to this bowl game just to see me. But it was great. I got to meet Connor Whalen, the new associate athletic director that replaced Al Tomlinson, former trackster from Kent State and a Pittsburgher. So I got to talk a little yins with them and saying down there and up there and all that.
Down there.
But really nice guy. And it was great to meet him along with Josh Dittman, Rob Rice from Learfield, Brian Blair, and we just had a good time. Christopher Harris with the athletic department as well. He set us up real nice, and then the pep rally was Monday night. Got to have dinner, like I said, with the coach afterwards, and then the game day was great. We did the alumni luncheon, which was really cool. Got to meet Bernard Faithful, former player back in the mid 2000s. That was great,
Wow.
And then at halftime, I ran into Walter Atkins, former safety. He was with Bernard and a couple other guys who now live in Florida. So it was just overall, it was a great day. As for the game itself, I mean, we battled. That's all you can say. And I thought Caleb Osborne did well. Wish him well at UConn. And it was just a perfect day. The weather was great. And that's about all I can say. I'm going to let you guys take your comments now.
Well, I thought it was a great game, and you're right, we did battle. And I think we showed a lot of people around the country the resolve that Toledo had. They pretty much all showed up as a team, and performed really well against definitely a squad that outmanned us. Um,
I can't recall. There's not many teams that have played every FBS school in the state of Kentucky,
Right.
and we were 3-0 against the spread against every Kentucky team. So watch out, Kentucky. Toledo's coming for you. We didn't knock off the big ones this year, but I don't think Louisville, after they were down or up 21-3, they thought that game was going to get competitive again. And special teams held us in there. The grit. I mean, all these guys that eventually, since have transferred out, they really played hard for Coach Weiner. And I couldn't be more happy for Coach Weiner that he got to, he teared up after that game. And he gets to go to UConn now, and he brought some of those guys with him. And I really do hope nothing but the best for all our players, like especially Kevon Sherman. I mean, the dude got jumped on the freaking sideline and just absolutely played his heart out. I was a very proud Rocket, even though we did lose the game, but only by 5. I mean, gosh, this team is so gritty, and that's what we saw all of November. We won the last
Yeah.
4 games. We came in hot. Louisville scores on the first drive, scripted drive. In the middle there, we bottle up their run game really, really well. And the Browns, we were talking about it before the game. We didn't even expect the Browns to play. And both of their 1 and 2 running backs play. They each have a really good game, but it was basically just 4 or 5 busted runs. And, man, I think we got 4 or 5 guys in that defense that are going to be playing on Sundays. And I'm super happy that Emmanuel McNeil-Warren decided to really go full bore after that first quarter. He was gonna be like a spot guy, and he ended up playing. He said, "I got to play," and that was awesome to see.
I noticed. Sorry, Dan. I noticed he didn't start, but he did play a lot, and when he did play, he wasn't messing around. He came out to play, and I met him too down at Benny's on the beach, and a very nice guy. He appreciated all the retweets we do on him and everything like that, and just a good guy. And you can't do anything but wish him luck at the next level, which hopefully will be be a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah, and E-Man just got invited to. Well, he's on the EA Sports Ultimate Team.
Very
and
cool.
that's a nice award that's voted on by the fans. So you can go to their website and put in a vote starting, I believe, Thursday, and everybody can vote for your favorite Rocket. So get on out to EA Sports Ultimate Team and give a vote for E-Man.
Yeah, that's a really cool award. I put in a team, and we had Murdoch, the linebacker for Buffalo, and then the MAC Player of the Year, defensive lineman. I believe last name's Tucker for Western Michigan. I voted for all of them. So
Nice.
vote for your group of 5 guys and MAC guys. I don't play the video game, but E-Man's like a 93 overall.
Yeah,
That's a safety at Toledo. That's a cheat code in that game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you kind of wonder in that bowl game. We saw a few frustrating penalties based on substitutions and coaches not having their stuff together. It's going to happen when you have such a turnover with the staff, but you kind of wonder with such a close score and Toledo with the grit and fight, if maybe we had some of those situations back, maybe we're talking a different story here.
Yeah, definitely. If we would have cleaned those penalties up, it would have been a different ball game. Those were it was a lot of shooting ourselves in the feet.
And it felt like the refs were against us. It really did. We have basically
no fan ever.
Well, even like that hit where Sherman shoves a guy a little bit late into their bench. Basically, he gets kicked in the head. He got out of the scrum almost immediately. Doesn't even get a penalty called on him. There's 3 against Louisville and 1 on us, and it's just offsetting. That's just a bad rule. It's like if they're the one that starts a fight, and they could have had a loss of down. There was a minute left in the game. That could have been 3rd down. Toledo still has a timeout. who knows? We get the ball back, but I just feel like every little thing, every big play, we'd get called back, and that team hung in there, and we still even would have a 3rd and 15. I mean, talk about Peterson. How clutch was that guy in that game? Every
Oh,
long
yeah.
down and distance, he was over the middle fighting for extra yards. I mean, Chip Trainin was throwing down the L, upside down L. I mean, he knows what that team meant to him when he played for Kentucky. This team was just so gritty. It was a really fun watch.
Yeah, it was tough losing Peterson, and also Treadway, I think, losing them both was a tough blow, but to be expected.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought Kenji Christian, I think this was his 4th or 5th year. Well, apparently he's got one more year of eligibility, and he's off to UConn now. That one's tough. And then Stubborn Brother, looks like they lost their best sponsor, and Dappolonia is going over there with Syracuse.
Following Karras, yeah.
But I don't know how much more you guys want to dwell on it. At the end, I thought it was a pretty good performance for what we expected. I don't remember whose score was the closest in our projections, but we were all kind of right in that 27-22 range.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all, I think, predicted a Rockets win just for shits and giggles.
I give that game, on my scale, I give it a B-.
Yeah. Sounds about fair.
All right, so that concludes the final game of the season. I think we should do our players of the year instead of players of the game.
Sure.
There's a lot of guys we've mentioned a ton, like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I don't think he's gone an episode without getting mentioned. Who do you guys have on offense for this 2025 season wrap? Player of the year.
Yeah, I can go first. Vander Ross. That's the only guy that every game showed up and was consistent, and there's a ton of guys that stepped up and filled some gaps that we saw deficiencies in last year, but that's the dude. Every game you need a big play, you need a first down. There's your guy.
1,000 yards receiving and 11 touchdowns. Pretty damn good.
Hell of a season. Yeah. And I'm right there with you, Kyle. That was my choice as well. Vander Ross, like you said, is always consistent. He's going to come up with a big catch when you need it. And that's going to transfer into the NFL for that guy soon.
Yeah, he plays bigger than his size. I mean, he's just a little fella.
He's a slot receiver for sure.
82 catches, over 1,000 yards, 12.3 yards a catch. Like Dan said, 11 touchdowns. I mean, he's my pick as well. I mean, I guess runner-up would be Chip Trainin, but, the injuries kind of held him back a little bit, but still great year for him with 1,064 yards rushing, 5.6 yards a pop, 12 touchdowns. Yeah, I just think if he would have been able to play a little bit more, he would have, he'd have done really well.
Yeah, that's a hell of an average, 5.6 yards a carry.
Yes.
Yeah, he's my player of the year just because last year we were so dead at the running back position. The offensive line was so green, and this year we really turned it around. Chip, what do you say, 12 touchdowns. I think he had 200 receiving yards. He was effective no matter what. And even in that bowl game when I think he only had maybe 50 or 60 yards rushing, I mean, they were hard-earned runs. He was stiff-arming, getting us some pretty good down and distance if we weren't having a penalty called against us. So he's a guy I'll remember as just a one-year guy, but he's got a chance at the next level. And it was cool to see him retire his college career as a Rocket.
Yeah, he made it to an all-star game, didn't he?
Yeah, he's in the East-West Shrine Bowl. So I don't know if that one already played. It was weird. I saw there's no stats online, but I think Vander Ross was in that game, and I don't even know how he did.
Same thing for the Hula Bowl. I could not find any stats on that.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what I missed.
Our guy Brett Bull, fan of the show, he former Rocket walk-on, was one of the guys instrumental in that bowl game. So
right,
it's kind of cool.
I agree with you guys. I haven't seen much on stats. I've seen 3,430, pictures of Gruden for the Hula Bowl, but that's about it on coverage.
Yeah, wasn't Bryant Koback former MVP of that thing?
He was.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right, players of the year. Let's go to defense. I will start this one off. There's a freaking lot of options. 10 of our 11 guys were all max selections this year. I'm going to give it to the safety room. So that's Braden Alls, who has moved on to Iowa State, and Emmanuel McNeil Warren, hopefully future first or second round draft pick. 10 passes defended for the room, 7 interceptions, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 sack, and 129 total tackles. I mean, we've had Max and Hook. We've had a bunch of really good safeties. Tyson Anderson. I'm not sure our room has ever been that dominant. What else can you say about our backfield, but specifically the safeties? A hell of a year.
Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
I was going to say I agree wholeheartedly. The defensive backfield was the strong point of our third or fourth ranked defense all year long.
I get to say his name one more time. Kevon Sherman. That's my guy.
Not Kavion.
Not Kavion. What the broadcast solidified it for us, didn't it?
Yeah.
A little sketchy through the year, and then they figured it out towards the end of the year.
Well, the PA guy even at the Glass Bowl changed it halfway through the season.
Yeah, there's no E in there.
I know. I don't know where that came from.
Put a little mustard on it, I guess. I don't know.
A little stank on it.
But yeah, dude, every game racking up tackles, and I get to say his name one more time. He's my dude for the year.
Very
I would
nice.
say that, but I'm going to go with Braden Alls. I mean, for a guy that didn't get all the publicity that Emmanuel McNeil Warren did, and for good reason, but he came up with interceptions this year. He had 5 of them, one of the leaders in the country in that, along with 6.5 tackles for loss. Plus, he's a Central Catholic guy and a really nice kid. I'm going with Braden Alls, and again, his grandpa was Paulie Newverman's baseball coach at Miller City. So how can you not
I
love
didn't
the
know
guy?
that.
Wow. It's a small world after all.
That's
Yes,
a good
it is.
choice, Ryan. A local guy, and he grinded it out on the roster for a couple years with Toledo, and one of those guys where you just want to see nothing but success.
Right.
We've been so accustomed to kind of semi following Iowa State over the years. Now that Matt Campbell's gone, I was going to throw him in the trash, but Coach Watson goes out there and brings Braden Alls. I think I'll be watching Iowa State if they're on a noon on a Saturday, or if they're out in Ireland again or whatever. I mean, they're a fun team to watch. I got no other Big 12 team. Might as well root on the Cyclones for a little bit longer.
And with
There
all
you
the
go.
transfers going to UConn to follow Coach Candle, I mean, that's going to be interesting this year. I'm sure a lot of their games will be on ESPN Plus. So,
Yeah, the Yukon Rockets should be pretty good.
yeah.
Um,
I'm going to go with Emmanuel McNeil Warren for my Defensive Player of the Year. All the accolades are justified. Stud player, comes up with a big play whenever you need it. And he's just a ball hawk. He is attracted to the ball like moths to a light bulb. So he got a lot of praise all season long, all of it warranted, and he's going to be something special at the next level.
yeah, Emmanuel McNeil warranted for sure.
Oh, I was gonna. You beat me to it, Dan. But
Yeah, I'm
I
good
think
at
one of the yes, you are. One of the key stats that I think really stands out is 3 forced fumbles. I remember he ripped that ball away down in Kentucky and made a couple other big ones. I think it was Western Kentucky where he had to pick 6 and he forced a fumble there. So yeah, I mean he had 3. Everybody else on the team tied for 1. So yeah, just a big play man right there. Good choice, Pat.
That interception against Central, right?
Oh my gosh, that was
Oh my
Charles
gosh.
Woodson like.
Yeah, that was insane.
I don't know if that play against Central Michigan was Player of the Year, or if it was Cole Rett, right tackle, catching a ball off of our foot in the third quarter against Louisville. What a play.
Right.
And
That was pretty amazing.
and he's going somewhere. I forget where Cole Rett's going, but it's
I think he's going to a larger school.
yeah,
I know
P4, yeah. So
And Emmanuel McNeil Warren, one more shout out. He might be the best big tackler, like hardest hitting tackler I've ever seen at Toledo. That man popped quite a few men. Very surprised to see all of them get up and walk away, because that guy hits like an NFL linebacker.
he
Yeah, and
does.
the minimal amount of steps that he needed to get that force in, like it's almost like a 1-2 step, and he's got you hit sticked. It's pretty cool to see from a safety.
No targetings in his career ever either, which is amazing.
Keep your head up, kid.
that. That's right.
Now, special teams player of the year, I've almost got a feeling we want this to be unanimous, but because of that bowl game performance, kicking in his old stadium at FAU, I'm going to give it to Robert Hammond III. He made a 50-yard field goal in the bowl game, which was a Boca Raton Bowl record. I can't remember a kickoff specialist at Toledo that put the ball out of the end zone as many times as he did. I believe he was at over 65% in touchback percentage as a kickoff guy. And we that's been something we've been missing. We didn't give up a kickoff return for a touchdown all year. He was a huge reason to field position and defensive success this year. So I'm going to go against the grain and give it to Robert Hammond III, who is on his way to Kansas State following one of our special teams coaches.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that was another guy that I met. I didn't meet him, but I met his dad and his brother at the pep rally before having dinner with Coach Jacobs. So here I am, name dropping and everything. But yeah, he said he listens to the podcast all the time. He probably won't anymore, but I assume he's Robert Hammond II. I didn't ask, but
I believe so. And, it's sad to see these players go, but see the excitement from his dad on social media announcing Kansas State, it was really cool to see. You could just tell he was just pumped about it.
yes.
And, I'm sure he's going to kill it for the Wildcats out there.
Well, as my choice of special teams player of the year, I have to go with my guy, being a Fremont Ross and Toledo Rocket homer, Bryson Hammer. 30 punt returns this year, averaged 12.1 yards per return. Still didn't break one, but he had a 54-yarder. He had a 17-yarder in the bowl game. So, Bryson, I bought your jersey, and I'm backing you, buddy.
Yeah, he had a nice return, 54 yards earlier in the season, and he was great at flipping the field. He's my choice as well as special teams player of the year. You always were pretty confident when he was back to receive a punt or even a kickoff occasionally.
He did return 3, Pat, this year for a 32.3 average. He had a 52-yard return. So, yeah, I mean,
it's a damn good return average.
It sure is. I mean, Rudolph had 18 returns for 20.8-yard average, but every once in a while they'd short kick it and Hammer would come through.
Yeah, so, I mean, best of luck to him next year. I believe he's the most dynamic returner we've had in a while.
And hopefully he gets into that wide receiver rotation now that we've lost a few.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to Terrell Crosby, who had a good kickoff return in the bowl game, which set us up for our last scoring drive. He's a guy that I don't believe is entered in the portal, and he was just a redshirt freshman. He was an Iowa State transfer a year or two back, or maybe he was a redshirt sophomore this year. If we have Terrell Crosby in that wide receiver room, I think he'll be able to be successful with what I presume will be a near air raid with Jar Jar back there, right. Quarterback.
I'm going to also give it to Hammer Time, but I do want to give a shout out to a guy that really didn't have to be a stud on special teams, but was Vander Ross. And the number of plays he made midseason for us, for, our starting wide receiver to come in and just have that grit, it's just amazing to see. So, special mention to Vander Ross.
Connor Wallenczak, I think, led the team in tackles and special teams this year. So that's another guy who kind of got buried on the depth chart at running back, but he was always a guy that seemed like he played really hard. He'd be on the lookout to be a team captain if I had to guess, if he sticks around.
Yeah, all right. Given his playing time and his ties to the program,
right?
I could very well see that happening.
So that kind of wraps up our individual player awards for the year. Final season thoughts. I kind of want to give it like a through failing grade. And any year that you lose to Bowling Green, it's going to be tough to be better than about a C for me. But the way this team stuck together, despite all the penalties, despite some deficiencies that we didn't really clean up at the end of the year, I thought the team just stuck together so well. Such a strong locker room. No one's gambling on sports, as we've seen a bunch of probes come out in college basketball and all this other shit going around. I really love to watch this team, so I'm going to give it a C+ for the year. Hopefully next year we can nab a Power 4 team and beat our rivals. But it wasn't a terrible loss of a season for me.
It was a weird year. Like, I would give our defense overall and our team at home an A.
Mhm.
But then you
Yeah.
get on the road and I'm basically in the D range.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like the tale of two teams this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
for
like-
me, I would go with a C minus, and the only reason it's not a D is because of the defense, number one, and number two, the grit and the continuity that you mentioned earlier. The fact that they stuck together and played tough through a season that was kind of tumultuous. I mean, with Gleason going down a time or two, and then with Jar going down when he came into play, a lot of different things were thrown at them, and especially on offense. So I think, the defense and the team continuity brings it up from a D from me, because you lose games you shouldn't lose. Again, people were complaining about that all year. The fans were. And then we lose to BG. It's not a successful season in my book.
Sure.
I agree. And I do want to make a off-topic point, but I feel like the word grit has had a 400% uptick since MCDC joined Detroit Lions. Everybody uses it now.
It's a gritty call.
I'm probably going to go with a C plus, just from the standpoint of, winning 8 games is great. The defense was awesome, and like you guys said, at home they were unstoppable. But the road trips should not have been that tough. You went to Kalamazoo, 3.5 hours away, Bowling Green, 20 minutes away, and to lose after being up 13-0 and 21-0 respectively is just inexcusable. So, yeah, that's why you win those games, we're talking A minus B plus. But yeah, it's one of those years where it just makes no sense as to how they lost those games. But and especially not winning the MAC with all the talent that we had and guys that could be playing at the next level. And that's been an argument against Candle all these years, is that with the talent he's had, he probably should have, won some more games. But again, we're not here to bash Candle. He did a great job for us. I mean, like I said in previous podcasts, guys graduated. He got guys to the next level and won a couple MAC titles. But yeah, it was just one of those seasons where a few things could have gone differently. It would have been a fun year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I'm not here to bash Candle in any way either. I mean, to have a coach around for 10 years and have a clean program with players graduating, a high GPA, and it seems like all of his players were quality individuals.
Mm-hmm.
You never heard things about them doing anything off the field or after they're gone from the program.
Maybe after Toledo DQ.
Yeah, other than DQ. I mean, you're going to get a rotten apple in every bushel. So,
Yeah. The season was kind of skewed by just like the timing of every loss. Western Michigan, looking back on it, you lose by 1 there. They were a pretty damn good team. And I think Western Michigan's going to be here to stay. They retain Jalen Buckley and their quarterback Lowry. They're going to be a team to, we're going to be chasing them. I guarantee you Toledo's not picked to win the MAC next year.
Right.
You lose by 1 there. They end up winning the MAC. Good for them. That's not a terrible loss. And we did clean it up on the road. We ended up beating Miami of Ohio. We ended up beating Central Michigan. And games where, we had a quarterback get injured and we came out and Caleb Osborne had to be the man. So once again, just kind of falls back on that grit. The team never quit. And against all odds, they still did finish out pretty damn decent. 10-3 against the spread. That's one of the best marks in the nation. So for all the things that, we lose the teams we shouldn't, it's like if Toledo's a 15-point road favorite, definitely that was when you'd go against them for Candle. But, I mean, we did cover some big-ass spreads at home. We beat everybody by about 40 at home. So, again, that's why I just couldn't drop it to a D.
Makes sense.
All right. We ran a poll about a week ago. And, Kyle, do you have the results pulled up on your phone? I sent it to you. If not, I think I have it here. We had 64 of you guys vote on Twitter, which is awesome. So appreciate that. If we keep posting polls, please continue to vote. But I posed a question: how excited are you for 2026? And this is before we had brought in, I think, a single transfer. And 39% of you guys said you always are excited no matter what, which is, kind of where I fall most seasons. 27% of you, I believe, said more excited than usual, probably because Jason Candle's out the door. And 28% of you guys said it's not promising. Now, I don't know if that's just because we hadn't announced a lot of transfers or maybe the ones that we got in were all from the FCS level. If you're in one of the 28% that says not promising, please comment on our show and say why you're not excited for 2026. We got 7 home games next year, guys, and Bowling Green at home. I'm pretty damn excited. And then the last option was 6% of you said amped. You want to go to 10 plus games or more. Hint, hint, I voted in that one. I think the only trips I'll be missing are, depending on who we play midweek in the MAC out of conference, and then it was going to be Syracuse, but now Syracuse got flipped on our schedule to Temple at home, so hell, I might make 11 games next year. So I'm really excited about next season. How do you guys feel? Where would you guys have voted on that poll?
I would have voted more excited than usual or more amped than usual. Just because it's a fresh start. We've got a whole new group of coaches, a whole new group of players. Yeah, it might be a struggle at the beginning for continuity sakes, for bringing everybody together as a team. But if anybody can do it, it sounds like I have faith in Jacobs to do that. But I think the excitement comes with a whole new game scheme, a whole new defensive set, a whole new offensive set. It'll be nice to see some variation from what we've seen in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I would say, honestly, I'm setting my expectations a little lower than normal going into next season. And maybe if I do that, I'm more excited about results that possibly could happen. But, it's just first year coaching change, and we had a slew of players leave, and we're not the only program it happens to. The landscape of college now is you hire a coach, and it's not what staff are you bringing, it's also what players are you bringing with you. And we saw that with, ties with Toledo with Matt Campbell. I think Penn State they transferred in almost 20 players from Iowa State.
You can say hired now.
I don't, not quite. That's a legal thing. They're not employees, Pat.
Right. Yeah, true.
Might as well be though.
But we're not an official outlet.
But
either.
I mean, that's the name of the game now. Is
yeah.
That's what's interesting about like what the media likes to portray with these coaching hires is what are they bringing along, and it blows my mind. But a little off topic, but Michigan State, Pat Fitzgerald has not been high on coaching rankings overall, which is crazy to me. And the amount of money that's been invested in Michigan State now, and some of the players they're getting in, I don't see how he can't make it work. But I don't know if they're grading based on who did you bring with you, and he wasn't at a program before.
Yeah.
Well, his quarterback coach hire is terrible. It was UMass's offensive coordinator, and that guy, his last 5 stops, he hasn't had a top 115 quarterback. So that's just one hire. I don't think that really matters. But like when I saw that UMass's OC is going to be a quarterback's coach at Michigan State, I was like, "Fuck, take him, dude." I like our shot week 1.
And unfortunately, you're right, Kyle. That is the landscape of college football now. I mean, look at Iowa State. They were stripped down to 16 returning players from the team. They only had 16 players after the portal opened left on their program with scholarships.
That's wild.
So my choice would have been I'm always excited. Zero change. I'm in the majority, 39%. It's one of the things that I don't want to say I live for, but as far as football season's unlike any other. One game a week, the excitement leading up to it, the game day tradition. Hopefully I make it to 2 games this year instead of just 1. But
Yeah.
it's one of those
Well,
deals where I'm just always fired up.
and we're going to hold you to that.
All right.
All right. Now, 2025 is in the past, guys. 2026, we're looking forward. Can't wait for the upcoming season. Our last tie-in with football here. There's 8 teams left in the NFL. Did anybody get eyes on Quinyon Mitchell in a losing effort last weekend?
Oh,
I
my
mean,
God.
It
could
was
I
it was
bet-
looking a little shaky on that first drive. He was targeted pretty much the whole way down, and then after that, he was locked down.
Yeah.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but at the draft, I said he's going to be the best player to ever come out of the MAC. I think after those first 2 years, I could not have expected this. The guy's
Right.
elite.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, all pro both years. I mean, you can't beat that. At least nobody in our recollection. I mean, yeah, some people can throw around names like Randy Moss or
Jack Lambert.
Roethlisberger,
Yeah.
you know, but in this day and age, definitely one of the best players to ever come out of the MAC.
After only 2 years, you're right, Dan. It's crazy.
I don't know what other trajectory he could have been on to be better than what he's doing right now. Seems like every post it's like the bird is the word is like the Eagles fan page or something, and they're just showing like he's doing things that's never been done at the corner position, and that's with another all-pro corner on the other side. So teams don't really have a lot of options to throw against the Eagles, and I'm still not a fan of the Eagles, but it's cool to watch Quinyon ball out.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one. There was a tush push this last weekend by Buffalo, and our man Reggie Gilliam was in there just patting him on the ass, getting him into the end zone. Freaking awesome.
That was great.
And I mean, for Quinyon, making the Pro Bowl and getting that spot at starting corner, there was a good handful of guys that easily could have edged him out for that spot, including Ryan Steelers with Porter. And there hasn't been much feedback and opposition for Quinyon's name being there after only 2 years.
Maybe Cooper DeJean. I would say Cooper DeJean probably didn't deserve it as much.
Yeah, I would have rather put Porter there personally based on stats, but Quinyon, that's a lock.
As a guy who just watches nothing but the Steelers, I always expect Porter to get an interference or holding call. That's just the way I feel. I mean, I guess looking back in hindsight, he did have a pretty good year, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. I'm like, oh no, they're throwing towards him. No, don't hold him.
Unfortunately, it seems with our non-skewed reffing crews, right, in the NFL and the entertainment business, the Lions have the same issue with Terrion Arnold. It's just once you get that reputation on your name, they're more likely to throw that flag.
Right.
There's really physical corners. It's just kind of a different style. Quinyon, I think, just plays basically by the book, and his closing speed is so good that you can't really gain a step on him. He closes so well. He always has his head turned around. I mean, he's a textbook corner. I hope that guy, after he's in the Hall of Fame, comes back to Toledo and coaches up the DBs maybe 20 years from now, because he does everything right.
Ty, what you said about Joey Porter and the referees, that kind of reminds me of Pat and the bouncers at Kip's West Side Rock Scene. Got a reputation for grabbing. They always kept an eye on him.
That's right. Never caught me for holding, though.
Just grabbing.
And our last guy, I believe, that's still alive is our Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Johnson over there for the Rams. He doesn't play a ton of snaps, but he seems like he makes an impact when he's out there playing, getting to the quarterback, getting pressure, stuff like that. So, I mean, if we could get a Bills-Rams Super Bowl, that'd be nice to see two Rockets with at least one to get a chance to get a ring.
2 years in a row would be. Last year we had Kareem against Quinyon.
Yep.
So
that'd be awesome.
All right.
Yeah, and I believe was it Deshaun Johnson just got ranked number 5 overall draft pick in the UFL. I don't know if he's still with the Giants, but I believe he is. But they listed him as the number 5 overall pick in the UFL draft.
Pretty cool.
I'm not sure. I have to look into that and get some more depth on that.
that'll be an April or off-season episode. We can just start digging into UFL gambling lines if we don't have much else to talk about.
For all you degenerates.
I think it's on Joe's gambling app and fishing advice.
And John's football and storm door company.
For all your gambling and store door needs.
Oh, man. Have you guys, just to round this episode out, there was some basketball this week. Did any of you guys get, like, really any eyes on it? I mean, we took down Javon Simmons in Ohio for the 10th consecutive time. Kowalczyk owns Todd Bowles over there at Ohio. Did you guys watch any of the games?
I watched a little bit last night of Kent State.
Yeah, so did I.
It was a gritty game, man. That Kent State team is really physical. And in that gym, the Mac Center, if there's more than 2,000 fans, Kent's going to get amped. They're going to go on a run. And it just sucks. Like, the refs have to call all the physical nature stuff for Toledo to have a chance against a bigger team like Kent. And I thought we actually played pretty damn well.
Well,
Just
thankfully
down
they
the
didn't call a
stretch.
flagrant on Parks for that dunk where that player was just mindlessly standing under the basket there.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know.
It's
what
like, I
Parks
got to
was
land at
supposed
some
to do.
point.
he's waiting to be posterized.
I'm not trying
Yeah.
to hang up here all day.
But
Okay.
yeah, I saw that game too. And to me, Todd lost the game in his vital period that he's always talking about winning. And that's the middle 8 minutes,
Mhm.
the 4 minutes before half and the 4 minutes after half. That's when they went from 7 down. Kent State went from 7 down 7 to up 7. And once they got that 7 to 8 point lead, they never relinquished it. They just kept holding it at 7 or 8. And I think their one guy, Williamson, I believe his name is, got hot as hell. He was like 3 for 5 from 3 on 3 consecutive trips down the court. So yeah, unfortunately they weren't able to protect that middle 8, and it just came back to bite them.
Yeah, it was a kind of rough watch. I mean, they manhandled us on the boards in the second half. Like I said, Kent's just a bigger team, but we missed some bunnies. I mean, Minor Strong missed a few. Craig was awful from the field. He missed 3 free
Yeah.
throws. It looked like he was throwing the game out there. And he's been awesome this year. He's been a double king. So you just have one of those key guys that doesn't play very well. I don't think Blyden or Sonny could have done much else. And I thought Parks played his ass off, considering the calls he was not getting. I mean, that big man took a charge. That shows you how much Kent was running in. You run into a 7-foot Parks and you make him fall on his ass. That Kent State team is really running hard at you.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
And
guys,
I
I'm sorry.
think that's okay. I was just going to say, Sonny and Blyden were on fire as usual. And it's a great backcourt duo. But I think Vanderjack is kind of a spotty shooter right now. If he gets hot, he can go on a run of threes. But that game, he was not as proficient from the 3-point line as normal.
He had some nice floaters though.
Yeah, he does.
No, I was just going to say something stupid that I was going to tune in the game, and it says you do not get this channel, CBS Sports Network. And just to let you know, our condo fee that we pay every month, we get free cable, but we get ESPN, regular ESPN, ESPN2, FS1, FS2, and that's it. So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to watch at the casino that game and last Friday night's game against Miami, who we don't have to talk about that game. They kicked our ass.
Yeah, up and down the court.
Yeah, that's a really good freaking team.
Yeah, it is.
But at the casino, the manager that controls the TVs doesn't get in there until about 6:45. So luckily the game started maybe 8 minutes late, so I only missed the first 4 minutes. But if you're going to the casino and a game's going to be on before 7 o'clock, it'll be sure that there's 7 TVs that have SEC network on and Feinbaum's ugly ass head on the TVs. They don't know what the hell they're doing
Wow.
until primetime TV there. It's crazy.
They need to hire somebody that can maybe just work the remote, is what you're saying?
if you owned a sports bar, that should be one of the things that you should know every day, every slot, who's playing.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and CBS Sports Network and even like the FS1s, those are the channels that generally have live sports on all the time. Like
Right.
SEC Network is never anything. It's
No,
always
it's all
a rerun.
replays.
Right.
And if you don't have audio, what the hell does the Feinbaum show bring you? Just to watch him talk? Like, silly.
Because he's so good looking, that's what it is.
Oh yeah, he's gorgeous.
I tell you, I've seen better faces on a clock, you know?
That's a good one. I like that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be here at least
And
for
then
another
the women.
But
No,
yeah,
women-
you're right, Dan. When I was a manager at the now closed Smoky Bones in Maumee, we had a full grid of the whole week, what was going to be on different TVs or what we could have, and everything was already tuned in. So bartender says, "Hey, I need this game." Boom, you pop it on and it's there. That's definitely something that should be planned out way ahead of time.
I'm right there with you. And last thing to get to, women's basketball, that they are on a bye this weekend, so that's why we're recording on a Saturday afternoon. Maybe the earliest show we've ever had, at least that I can recall.
Yeah.
But the ladies played in front of about 800 fans as the snow was wrecking through Lucas County. Wednesday evening, they demolished a pretty poor Northern Illinois team. But that's another, foot out the ass kick out the door for the Huskies. Glad to see we could beat the non-rivals at home. And if you won the 50-50, you only won $633 Wednesday evening at Savage Arena. So that shows you how bad the crowd was.
Which is like a men's game at Bowling Green.
Yeah.
A rivalry men's game at Bowling Green.
It's funny because the game before that I went to, we bought 50-50 tickets, and that game, I think there was 4,300 there. So the 50-50 pot was like $2,000.
I tell you, one guy
that's probably the take home.
Yeah, that was the take home pot.
One guy who wasn't scared of the weather was Paulie Nuveman.
Yes,
and his
venture club.
Those seats were actually pretty full. That first row was that was about where anybody sat. I don't think we had the blue. Maybe had one blue crew member. The Cookie Monster still made it out somehow.
There you go.
The suites, I think there was one suite that was totally full, and then just us two, and there was no one. No, the lights were off in all the other suites. So
wow.
Oh my
it was a rough one. That's all I got. Just one more shout out. Kendall Carruthers didn't play in that game, so hopefully she gets back and healthy. But Patricia Nugba, 24 points, balled out. Toledo shoots over 30% from three. We're going to win a lot of games. So shout out, P.
I love Ginny's comment on her during the post game. She said, a reporter asked her, where did that come from, the 24-point outburst? And she said, "Hey, she's just good at basketball."
I like that.
So it's nice to just have a quick, clean compliment and be done with it.
There you go.
For sure.
All right. Pat, is it time for you to end with
let's put a
comment?
midnight blue bow on this bitch and call it a day.
All right. On behalf of engineer, producer extraordinaire, Kyle W. Smith, Nate the Texas Rocket, who couldn't join us today, can't forget him. I'm Rocket Ryan Brandt.
I am PJ Spiller.
I am Dan Rocket Man Savage.
Have a good night, good day, whenever the hell you're listening to this. Good night, and take care, everybody. Good luck. TOL.
EDO.